interesting part about trying to describe this movie. You know you're onto something great when you can't sum it up in a log line. I think it can be summed up in terms of, you could talk about Jesse Brown's story. You could talk about the first African-American naval aviator. You could talk about what Tom Hudner did for Jesse Brown. You could talk about the experience of the 32s, the Korean War, the Forgotten War. You could come at this story in a lot of different ways, but I think it's such a Trojan horse of a movie because it's a war movie that ends up becoming a love story. Really at the end of the day, it's what is the definition of a wingman and how far are you willing to go for the guys next to you? Tom Hudner is, fresh out of the Naval Academy. He'd gotten his wings in Pensacola and, is here in Quonset, hoping for a shot at war. He just missed World War II and sort of the greatest generation. And he's sort of looking in the future and realizing there's sort of peacetime in front of him and no way to sort of prove that he's a man. No way to prove that that this sacrifice, this dedication to the life in the Navy is worth it. So he's really a guy who's looking for scars and then accidentally finds them in Korea. And I think that's the beauty of that sort of arc for him, is that he's a guy who's looking for war and finds it, loses a friend, and really regrets getting those scars. Early on, everybody talked about all these different titles about what we could call this movie, and because everybody was like, oh, Devotion feels too soft, it feels like a love story, it feels like a religious piece, and it's none of those things, but at the same time, it really is representative of what this movie is, which is, that is what it is to be someone who's dedicated their life to the armed forces, to sacrifice. It's willing to go to the furthest point to fight for the person next to you. And I think that's exactly what this movie is and what it represents. It's a love story to the people at home you're fighting for, and it's a love story to the guys that you're fighting across from. I hope people leave this movie wanting to be a better wingman, better friend, better ally, better family member. I think this movie is going to do a lot of great things for the world, and that's all you can hope for.